All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark, and joining me as always is my fearless co-host,
Mr. Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder. Oh, man, it feels so good to be back.
Yeah, it does.
So good.
Well, you had a week off.
Oh, I had a week off.
You had a week on.
I had a week on. That's the much better way of putting it. I had a week on.
Yeah. So what's new and exciting, Jay?
Dude, that's my line. You totally stole my line. I love it. All right, so I've got a whole list of new and exciting. First, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's joined us online. I can already see Mr. Hiller is with us, of course. He is a rock star, and he's here with us again. But new and exciting, the very first thing I want to talk about is today's the last day of, oh, shoot, is it number 9? Oh, Bob Gagliano's on here as well.
I think it's 9, Jay.
I think it's 9.
I'm
we
pretty
have
sure it's 9.
number 9 of the 10-day challenge that is coming to completion tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to do something special for the 10th
Well,
10-day
here we go.
challenge.
I'm going to put it out here right now.
Okay.
I know people who can do things. So here's what we're going to do. For everybody that completes challenge number 10. So for challenge number 1, we gave everybody 10 weeks with Bob Snyder.
Yeah.
Where he did a live call with them for 10 weeks in a row.
Yep.
At the completion of challenge number 1.
That's right.
At the completion of challenge number 10, we'll give you another call. We'll give you a live call with Bob for those people that complete challenge number 10.
Sweet. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
It's going to be way cool. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Live call.
Live call. So just like what we were doing before, where we'll have Bob down here.
Yeah.
I'll make sure he doesn't have any training. It'll literally just be the question and answer period for those people that complete the 10th 10-day challenge.
I like it. Cool.
I feel like we need to come up with a better name, like the Deca Challenge.
We'll come up with something, I'm sure. Yeah.
The Deca Spartan Challenge.
Deca Spartan Challenge. That just sounds like a steroid,
You're welcome.
bodybuilding competition or something.
You're welcome. All right. I'm going to leave that one until the very end. There, I'm going to draw a line, put that down here, so we'll talk about that in just a minute. We got Kenya coming up.
Dude, yes, we do.
So tell me, you were telling me a story just a second ago about somebody who's been on this exact trip before.
Well, yes, we had a pre-travel meeting, and this organization that takes people out and does this thing, they do it all the time. They've already been several times this year. They plan them consistently throughout the year, and some of the people that were in that room as they're gonna go as tourists on this trip were people that have done this trip multiple times before. So they just go, like every year they just go, like
Nice.
they have a family trip, or every 2 years or whatever, they have a family trip or something where they go on safari. Well, I was talking to some of them after the fact, just kind of a little bit about the trip. Definitely was getting my mosquito questions answered.
Nice.
As you may know.
Yeah, you have a mosquito phobia.
I will wrestle lions, but I do not want to wrestle malaria. So, anyways, it definitely helped meeting with them and put a lot of that to rest, at least for the most part. But
nice.
because there's a risk, but it's not.
Are you gonna wear your little head net thing?
Oh, I will. Well, I mean, it all depends on circumstance, right? Like it depends on what we're in. So, but what this lady was telling me about this, normally they'll park by the river in one of these parks, and it's during the Great Migration, and the wildebeest will start crossing the river at any given time, and they love to watch them and stuff, and and she's been several times, and the last time that she went, normally they'll cross the river for 5 minutes, and she said it was 45 minutes of crossing in a herd of wildebeest that was quite possibly 1 million wildebeest large, right? Like, and I mean, not just crossing the river at one point, but like it
just
it
all
was
over,
just
just
massive. She was they were just
a
like
sea of wildebeest,
just a sea of wildebeest. She was like, it was insane. We actually, you can't stay after dark in these parks. you have to go back, and it was dusk, and we were really worried about going back because we couldn't drive anymore because we're surrounded in wildebeest, and like it was insane. She was just telling me all about it. It sounded really cool. She was telling me about this elephant that came up. There was just a foot, like literally a foot out her window. She's like, if I just stuck my arm out a foot, I would have been able to pet this elephant.
Man.
But just some crazy, really cool experiences of sitting in a pride of lions surrounded the vehicle and used the vehicle as cover to get closer to the animals, or to hide from the animals, really, right? So that they could then spring up and chase down these animals and get dinner. And, it was just unreal. And there was another one. They were telling me about how they were sitting there with the wildebeest and watching these wildebeest come down like over kind of a hill. I don't think there's like a lot of mountains, but it sounded like it was a hill. Come down, and there was a pride of lions that was chasing them. So they were running down this hill, and they ran in through the river, and crocodiles were snatching up some of this group as they run through the river. And then they got to the other side of the river and had to run back like up the other side of the ravine, and another pride of lions was waiting for them right there.
Oh my goodness.
Tough day to be a wildebeest, I'm telling you. It's just a circle of life, right?
Oh, man.
Tell you what,
but that sounds like an experience you can't replicate.
But they're just sitting in the middle of it, and this tour company takes you when nobody else is there, so they kind of they pride themselves on being there in off hours. And so most tour companies will take you, they'll leave, like around like 11-ish or something.
Right.
And then they'll come home, or they'll drive back around like 4 or 5-ish through the park. So they miss morning and sunset. And so we're going to wake up super early and go morning, and then we're going to come back in the evening and catch all the activity, because that's when all animals are active.
Right.
In the morning and the dusk.
Right.
So yeah,
that is super crazy to even just try to picture in my mind.
Oh yeah,
I'm totally jealous.
Yeah,
that I don't get a chance to go.
It's gonna be nuts.
Those people that have earned a spot with you are the winners of the 5-star winner's circle.
Yeah.
So basically, for a year, it was any personal sales counted towards this contest, and then the top 5, and I'm going to say that very delicately, because it's actually kind of the top 1 through 4 and 6
yes,
are all going to be going on this trip with you and with Bob.
Yeah.
And I love it. It sounds incredible. Last year was Dubai. This year is the Great Animal Migration in Kenya.
Yep.
Next year, it's a little bit different, though.
Yeah.
We've condensed the duration to qualify for the 5-star winner circle.
Yeah.
So it starts now September 30th, 1st.
I thought it was the 1st.
Is it the 1st?
September 1st. September 1st. Yeah.
So that's coming up. September 1st, and it runs until November 30th.
Yeah.
And that's the entire contest period.
Yeah.
So anybody, this is the 5-star winner circle is like the great equalizer, right? Anybody, regardless of how new they are or how long they've been with Renatus, can qualify.
Well, and that's because it's there's a removal of like event fees and anything else that would muddy the waters with like. So it because some people who are established or something might have a
bigger
group team and
right.
No, this is just those sales, those personal sales you put in, and so it's anybody's game with this kind of stuff.
Oh man. And the next couple of 5-star winner circles, the rewards are going to be incredible. They're going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And these are going to be more not as far destination, but a lot more activity.
A lot more activity and who you're with and spending the time with the group, and
super cool.
I look forward to those as well.
Oh, that's way cool. And I'm jealous. You better bring back a lot of pictures to share with me and with all of our fans.
Yeah,
so that you can.
It sounds like it's quite the trips from everybody going, especially because some of these, we're moving around from place to place, park to park. There's like 6 different parks we're going to, and in 1 or 2 of these parks, we're actually staying in the park, in a like a kind of hotel situation where there's just an electric fence around it, and you're in the park. So they're like, the moment you wake up, we're 30 seconds from the animals. Like you just,
I like it.
you drive
So,
out of a gate. And
here we're talking.
There they are.
Here we're talking. Matt going to Kenya is not worried about the lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my!
Not at all.
No, he's worried about the mosquitoes.
I think anybody that's had malaria would agree with me. I think that.
I'm pretty sure anyone who's been eaten by a lion wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think you get a big stick. You just hit them.
You think that's?
I saw it on a video.
I watched it on the YouTubes. It must be true.
Yeah,
oh man,
they were like.
that's like saying that to avoid getting eaten by a shark, punch it in the nose.
Yeah, that's
like,
what they tell you.
That's gonna help.
That's what they tell you. I don't know, but they did say don't stick any appendages outside of the vehicle because lions will see them. They see the vehicle as a whole, so they won't see you in the vehicle. But the moment an arm or a leg comes out of the vehicle, they see that as meat and they will take it. And he was like, I was about to make a joke because I was about to say, well, what do I got to do when I got to pee? And I didn't get to make that joke, but so, yeah, you got it. So
the end of Matt's bloodline.
So, but I was about to say that, and he could tell I was gonna crack a joke because I've been messing with him all night long, and he was I think a little agitated, and so he's like, no. He got all dead serious. Like, I am serious. They will take your arm off. And so I was like, oh, got it. I know. I will not stick anything I want to keep out the window. Got it.
Oh man, that's. I shouldn't laugh. That's not funny. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm totally jealous. It's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait to hear about all of the experiences that you have, along with all of the other people that are joining you. It's gonna be super cool.
Yeah.
After Kenya, because Kenya's coming up.
Yep.
We have the Leaders Retreat. Now,
yes, that's going to be a trip and a half right there, too.
We're going to Costa Rica.
That's cool. I've never been to Costa Rica before.
I've never been either, and I'm seriously looking forward to it. That's going to be a really good time. I am a little concerned. We are now the second week of June. I think we sold out.
We're at capacity.
I think we're at capacity.
How come you think? Do you not know?
Well, we're trying to negotiate more rooms.
Oh,
we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get them.
Yeah, okay.
We're trying to get more rooms now.
Okay.
We're working on it.
Who wants more rooms? Let us know.
Yes, let us know.
If you don't have a room and you want one, let us know because we're trying to negotiate here.
Yeah, it'd be really helpful if we knew exactly how many people we had waiting in the wings. Because I know we've gotten several calls.
Because if it's like 3, then it's 3. If it's 25, that's a whole nother number. That's a that's a different negotiation there. So
it is, and we've had a few people reach out to us through our customer advocacy group.
Yeah.
But yeah,
cool.
If there's still people waiting,
I'd love to know. Yeah.
All right. Couple other things that are coming up, and I'll just kind of go through these kind of quick. You ready for this?
I'm ready. Spitfire.
Rapid fire, not Spitfire. I don't spitfire. That's weird.
I don't know. I went to Hawaii and they did.
No, they swallow fire. They spit. Oh, I guess they
went. And it's like really cool and apparently dangerous.
Well,
looks dangerous.
Yeah. Fuel source in your face that you're then.
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
All right. So we've got regional season coming up.
Yeah.
And right before the call, Matt and I were talking for just a minute, and we thought, you know what? We really need to create a calendar of regional events so that we could publish that now so that you guys can start planning ahead on where you're going to be when. So regional season is coming up. I believe that kicks off September.
Yeah, it's always it'll be September.
I think it's like the first weekend in September.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know what date. It's going to be in September because Leaders Retreat's in August and then we hit September and that's when regionals start.
Yeah. So then you know what? I completely forgot. July 4th is coming up as well.
Yeah, we're going to be shut down for that.
That's on a Monday. And we are going to be closing the.
We're going to be representing.
Yeah, we will be in
Centerville
the parade.
So you want to come see us.
You come to Centerville, Utah.
You're local. Come to the parade, Centerville, Utah. Yeah,
and let us know that you're with Renatus, and we'll throw candy at you.
We'll toss a lot of candy at you. So.
Lots of candy. See, the worst part about being in a parade is not throwing the candy. It's when people start throwing the candy back.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
They do that from time to time.
Dirty
Just got to make sure you don't get beamed in the head.
All right.
It's happened to me.
Two other things real quick. First, this coming Monday on our Founders Live, we have a special edition of the Founders Live where we're going to be talking about telling your story. And we're going to have Bob Snyder and Krista Crook come out and tag team this with a couple of ICMs to show the power of telling your story effectively and compliantly, and how to marry the two together so that you can then tell your story in a way that creates intrigue, that creates interest, that creates curiosity, that creates an opportunity for you to continue the conversation, to build belief in the people that hear you. So
facts tell, stories sell, man.
Boom, baby.
And if you know how to, really though, the people that sell the most when it comes to educational sales and their top ICMs and all that kind of stuff, they're the ones that can tell the story, man.
Yes.
They
absolutely.
can lay it out in a way that people can emotionally connect and relate to it. So I love that.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be really, really cool. It's gonna be cool. Anyway, so that's this Monday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time.
Okay.
And we're doing it in the Renatus Founders Live Facebook group. We also do it live over Zoom. You can join us either place.
Okay.
The last thing that I wanted to talk about just real quick is intensives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about them?
So we have 37 instructors.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Well, that sounds like a lot until you start thinking about how many people all around the country.
Oh, yeah, when you start talking about groups around how many groups we have, how many groups want intensives, how many these guys can start traveling all sorts of places.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So we require that any intensive that gets scheduled be scheduled through the Renatus home team. The reason why we do that is to protect and preserve the integrity of the time of our instructors. It also helps to alleviate confusion. It stops any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's not an abuse, but overuse of an instructor.
We don't want to wear them out.
Yeah.
Because
And it just
they got busy lives. They're practitioner instructors. They're not instructors or salespeople.
Yeah, they're not paid. Oh man, I just had it. The word.
Well, gurus or salespeople or
I was gonna
actors.
go with. Hang on. It'll come to me. It's right there. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Well, they are practitioner instructors, meaning that they do what they teach, and they do it a lot.
Orators.
So,
there we go. Woo.
They're not what?
Orators. They're not professional orators.
Orators. Okay. Yes. Yep. They're not. And so, we've got to make sure that we're managing all of that.
Yes. Yeah. So we ask that for any request for any instructor to attend any event, whether it's online, in person, or otherwise, please contact Angie Perkins at Renatus. So that's Angie.Perkins at myrenatus.com.
Yeah.
That's Angie with an A, Perkins with an ERKINS, starting with a P.
Yeah.
At my, not yours, myrenatus.com.
Angie.Perkins at myrenatus.com. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Don't forget the dot.
Cool.
Okay.
I like it.
Before we transition into our featured guest for today.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about this featured guest. I got to spend some time with him this past week, and we'll talk about that in just a second.
Cool.
I want to give a quick reminder and a shout out for everybody that's on the line who's watching this either live with us or as a recording later, that the Renatus J.A.M. is put together to feature not only updates, not only announcements, but also to reinforce the belief and the understanding that Renatus is designed to empower customers to going out there and creating success in their lives, in their business. It's all about finding focus. It's all about taking steps and moving forward. Sometimes success can be measured in dollars, and other times it can be measured in attitude. It can be measured in that feeling of progress. And that's what the Renatus J.A.M is really focused on, is a reconfirmation of that belief, and another avenue for us to empower you, to empower each one of us to going out there and doing more and being more, so that we can in turn give more to those around us. So that's what the Renatus J.A.M's all about, but that's what Renatus is really all about. I've been with Renatus for over 11 years. I've worked for Bob Snyder the entire time, and it has been a phenomenal journey to be able to see how the company has developed and how Bob has constantly focused on the needs of every single customer as he's making these big decisions that affect the company's bottom line. He doesn't think about what it means to the company's bottom line first. He thinks about what it means to the customer first. And if it lines up with the customer and is beneficial to the company's bottom line, then we move forward with it. It's so refreshing to find a CEO, to find a founder that not only creates a tagline that you can believe in, but who embodies that tagline in every decision that he makes, every single day that he leads the company. So that's what Renatus is. That's who Bob Snyder is, the founder of Renatus. And that's what we're all about. So that's who we are sponsored by. Renatus obviously puts on the Renatus J.A.M, but Matt and I wouldn't be here without it.
Nope.
Phenomenal.
For sure. Renatus J.A.M, sponsored by Renatus.
I almost made a joke. I'm going to stop there. So do me a favor and go ahead and introduce our featured guest for this podcast.
So this guest is somebody that I know and love and have known for quite some time. And the more I get to know this guy, the more I love him. He's one of our top income earners in Renatus. He is in the top 6 in the 5-star winner circle. And I hope you won't mind me saying, right? But like, it was so close to, but I just, this individual is somebody that I admire and look up to. He's somebody who, he brightens up a room, and I cannot wait to travel with him. Let's bring out Bob Tierney onto the call.
Mr. Tierney!
What's up?
Oh man, I tell you what, I got to hang out with you at the Everest Real Estate Conference. And when we were talking about this podcast, we asked the question, who had just the most transformational, the best time at that event? And you were the first name to come up, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, man. I knew it. When we talked about this on the Pat call. And we came up with, Bob Snyder said, what are some ideas that we can do for bonuses? And, everybody that's been around this business a long time, we know what it's like to meet the instructors. And, we went from being an in-person, experience when people bought their education, and we changed it into an online experience because, we got to keep up with the times. And I love our education. I love 24/7 access. I love, how many instructors and how awesome our classes are. But the chance to get to spend 3 days with, 9 of our instructors and then our founder live in person, connect with them, hear their stories. It was, I knew it was going to be awesome, but it was so awesome that I can only hope that we do it again, and we do it, often, at least once a year or something like that. But what a special experience it was. And it was a lot of fun getting to hang out with you, Jay, and, Bob, and just see how excited the instructors were themselves.
Oh yeah. I love that.
I keep hearing that from all sorts of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were jacked up to be there. Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Tierney.
Well, first of all, let's just start with Mark Kohler. When I met him in 2006, he was relatively new, right? He was just getting started. It was so fun to hear the story of how Bob Snyder heard about him and went and met him. And, Mark was kind of, I don't know why I would take my time doing this, and Bob kept working on him, and the master negotiator to talk him into coming to speak, and then Mark being blown away by how many people were in the room, and just get a sense of who Bob Snyder is and who the people that have been inspired by him. So having him there, and he was there for a couple of days and part of the panel, it was so cool. But I think even more impactful than Mark Kohler being there again was him getting to see the difference that he's made in the lives of our students and the instructors that were on stage. The instructors that are now instructors, right? I remember Heather Herring as she was doing her very first real estate deals of her life.
Yeah.
I remember Brian Sump before he did his first real estate deals. I witnessed him pay off his house, and I was in classes with him and Jason Anders. And to see the emotion from our instructors, how much this organization has mean to them, and how touched and moved that they were that got to be back, in the room with, some of their mentors, Chris Alvin and Mark Kohler and, Kristen George, and just, so it was magical. It was absolutely magical. From my perspective of being around this for now 16 years and getting to have watched our educators grow to who they are today, and to witness that transformation in their lives, and now see how much it means to them to give back and help us and make a difference, and to impact the new students. I think this is so far beyond about money anymore.
Yeah.
And that was really the feeling that I got, from being there, from witnessing that their perspective and their interpretation, and just to see how who they become.
So let me ask you this question: to qualify to go to the Everest Real Estate Conference, or the EREC as we started lovingly calling it, people had to either purchase their Epics combo, they had to complete their Epics combo, or they had to sell 2 Epics combos to qualify to be there to get that invitation. What kind of a difference did that make to know that it was that level of student in the room for the opportunity for the educators to just really give it to you both barrels?
I'll tell you something. There's something special about a person that spends $23,000 and invests that in themselves and in their life.
Yeah.
Somebody that's willing to invest in themselves is separate from the people that are not willing to do it at that level. It is like, I would akin it to joining a country club. People can go golfing at the public course, for a couple $100 or whatever, or they can spend $80,000 as an initiation fee and $15,000 a year to be part of a country club. And I happen to have gotten to speak at the Boulder Country Club on a few occasions in this past year. There is a waiting list of over 100 people waiting for the opportunity to pay 60 or whatever it is, $75,000 or $80,000 is the initiation fee, because they have to have a member leave before they're willing to take on a new, and those spots are taken. And it's very similar in Renatus. It's like when you are surrounded by 100% of the people in the room have all invested their 23 grand, and they said, I'm in full bore. I'm doing this. This is what I believe in. There's just a different energy, a different attitude, very entrepreneurial minded, very open-minded, go-getters, people that are very serious about their success. So I really enjoy that aspect of being around all of our top package owners and top package purchasers. Another really cool experience for me was seeing the students in the room that have been around this for a long time, that are doing real estate. Steve Nomura just finished his 207th deal. Is generating something thousand dollars a month in income from his 58 rental properties. I think he says he's up to now. I remember him before he bought his first property. I remember him struggle for 2 years before he made any money in this business. to see who he's become in the world today is remarkable. And, the other people getting to benefit from that. There's another gentleman. This is a super cool story. So back in the day, 2007, when I was going to classes, with Bob Snyder's previous company, it was a cool experience because we all came to 4 or 5 star resort and took classes. They were in person, so we had to be there for 6 days, and so we all had it was another expense, right? Because beyond my 20 grand, I had to pay for airfare and lodging and meals and all that kind of stuff. But everybody there, had people that had spent the 20 grand to go. So that was that same experience. Well, a particular gentleman took classes. He had already been a real estate investor. He had done about 48 deals. He said before he started taking classes back with us in 2007. And about 3 months ago, I went and spoke at a meeting in Indiana. And because I was invited to come and speak. So I come and I spoke for about 25 minutes on becoming a transactional engineer, which is one of my favorite topics. And I look out in the audience and I see this guy named Wayne. And I'm like, Wayne, oh my gosh, how are you? It's been so long. I hadn't seen him in, 12 years, something like that. And I'm like, we need to get on a Zoom, man. I need to show you what Renatus has become. Like, we bought the intellectual property of that company, and Bob Snyder and the team have taken this amazing education that you remember with a lot of the instructors that we had back then, and they developed an online training platform that absolutely blows away anything else that's ever been created in the world, in as far as real estate investment education. And he's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, we've gone from whatever it was, 20 something 30 classes to 90. We've got 38 instructors now with this group and program. And he goes, really? And I said, how many deals you done now? He goes, well, I have 92 under construction right now, and I've done about 1,700 real estate deals.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, do you ever have anybody that asks you to mentor them or help them? He goes, every day. He goes, the term I hear this phrase all the time. Would you mind if I bought you buy you lunch? Could I pick your brain for a minute? Could you show me, how to do this? And I said, yeah, that's kind of like asking a 20-year, veteran of knee surgery, right? Somebody's been knee surgeon for 20 years. You're going to go up to him and say, hey, could you teach me how to be a knee surgeon?
That's true.
Right? What is the knee surgeon going to tell you?
Well, first I start with an incision, and then
they're like, oh, no, I'm ready to buy my scalpels down at the scalpel store. I'm ready to go.
Down at all $1. Yeah,
right.
They got razor blades.
Right, and he laughed, and I said, well, after 1,700 deals, it's impossible to take a USB drive out of your brain and stick it into someone else's. Yeah. You can't teach somebody easily. I said, but you could recommend a program that helped you.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what? That's a great idea. And so we got on a Zoom. Les Putnam was the guy that had brought him in. He's been with us for like 7 years. He's done over 800 deals himself. And so I would get on the Zoom. I show Wayne our education platform, the ability to take notes, the all the workbooks, all the documentation, like everything, no single thing that's included. He was blown away, literally blown away. And he goes, and you guys are paying out how much? I'm like, well, there's a 50% commission payoff on these programs. And then there's this profits course with a $1,200 payout and this and that. And he was like, wow. And he goes, I'm in. And he got his credit card out and bought his Epics combo. And I told him, I said, listen, I know that you've done a lot of real estate, but I want you to come to this Everest Real Estate event because I want you to get to see and meet the instructors in person. I want you to witness the experience from a new customer's perspective. And so he did. He came and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. He said, I got what I came for. This was fantastic. And I think we're going to be seeing some pretty excited people out of the Northwest Indiana market now.
I'd love it.
Coming up in the future.
That's awesome. Yeah. So let me ask this question. what does it mean to you, or to any of our customers, to see these instructors that have been with Bob Snyder for, some of them 15 years plus? What does that mean? And I mean, like you said, you got to hear each one of them talk about what it meant to be connected with Bob. And Jason Andrus took me aside and he says the four most important people in my life are God, my wife, my father, and Bob Snyder. What does that mean
Wow.
to you?
Well, I've been here. I just celebrated my 16th year anniversary of meeting Bob Snyder in March, and I'm still here for a bunch of reasons. But I think the biggest one is I love being a part of an organization is that is committed to and causing the transformation of people's lives in the world. And I've been through a lot of different personal growth workshops and seminars and trainings, and they were awesome. And I'm a better human being today because of them. But I never got trained on how to make money. And it isn't that money's everything, but without it, life doesn't work, right? It just doesn't have integrity.
Well, without it, you have money problems. Yeah, and those are significant. Those are significant problems.
Yeah, and to witness who Heather Herring has become in the world and all the accolades, when she had like 4 pages of PowerPoint, so all the different things that she's done and she's been up to in life. And I had a very powerful doctor and professional in the audience that had bought her ex-combo, who is a very high income earning professional. And she came up to me after Heather Herring spoke and she said, I literally just got all my money's worth. She is a bad, you know what, BA. I don't know if I can say that on Facebook, so I don't want to get us kicked off here. But she goes, to see who that woman has become, to see how powerful she is, was inspiring. And I think that's better. These glasses are better for the glare.
Right on.
And she said, you know what? I am so glad that I bought this education. I'm so glad that I'm a part of this community just by getting to meet Heather and see what this has done for her life. And then, like you had shared, the instructors that have stuck by Bob Snyder's side and stuck with him all these years, stuck with us as a community, because it ain't about the money. The amount of money that instructors make is not a lot in comparison to, if they built their own courses and different things like that.
Right.
But
well, especially it's not a lot in comparison to what they're doing on a regular basis anyways.
Right.
Their normal method of making money is significant. So
yeah, I think then that's a beautiful aspect of it. It's like these people make so much money in their life and in their business that it's an honor and privilege for them to contribute and to be a part of our organization and community.
Yeah.
Because it's not about how much money they make.
Right.
And that was so apparent and obvious at Everest, right? Just to feel their heart. Every single one of them got choked up and teary-eyed and was surprisingly so, and were choked up and unable to talk. Jay, you and I know what that's like.
Oh yeah, I got you, brother. I know exactly what that's like.
We'll get Matt to come around someday.
One day, you'll join the Criers Club. It's okay. Real men cry. so
I cry in silent, in a closet, in shame.
There's no shame in letting your emotions come out your eyes. So let me ask you this, and maybe we ought to make this our last question here, because I'm just having way too much fun talking. I could be on the line with you forever, but obviously being in Bear Lake, beautiful scenery, being at Bob's place, just gorgeous, right? Super fun. What were the benefits that were not part of the training that you saw?
Well, I want to acknowledge first of all my team and the people that came and the benefits. I literally saw people's lives change. I saw people have breakthroughs. I witnessed people break down in tears many times. you know, I started bringing people into this community that happen to be exceptionally talented musicians. I mean, we rented it was called the Castle on the Lake. It was Sleeps 50. We had 30 people come. We had so many of these amazing musicians that were in the room, and I've talked to every single one of these people, I've heard Greg sing a couple times, and I've seen a couple of people play, but I've never had a chance to witness people actually perform. And the experience from the all the people that came, then to get the witness how amazing the and talented the community people within our community are. And it was a lot of fun to have a little jam session at Bob Snyder's house. We had one every day and every night at the house that we were staying in.
Yeah. That was so Derek, his last name, ABT. How do you say that?
Yeah, Derek Apt, ABT.
Apt. And then there was Mark. What was Mark's last name? Grabowski. And then Greg Kimball came out and sang. And man, that guy can sing. Holy cow. Right? That was awesome. And then we had Mike Word come out. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I could listen to that guy rap all day long. He was phenomenal. Right. Just so much fun and people so willing to share and just, yeah. I just love who the Renatus community attracts.
Yeah. And I do want to do a special shout out for Derek Apt. He dug real deep he lives in Maui. Him and Tobias came out. They couldn't bring their equipment with them. So in order to be able to perform, they went and they got equipment so that they were, able to share. And I know that Derek was had spent every last penny that he had to be there to experience it. Yeah. So he had given us a GoFundMe link, and just for anybody that was inspired to be able to support him. So I just wanted to make a mention of that. I love being able to support people, and I recognize when somebody has really dug deep to do something and accomplish something in life. And I certainly wouldn't be here myself today if so many people had not contributed to me and took care of me when I was in the similar situation. So I just want to make a little mention.
That's awesome. Well, I know that I had a phenomenal time at the event. I know I'm a little biased, but I felt like that was the beginning of just a beautiful opportunity to host people regularly and create an opportunity for them to congregate, to share, and to learn from our instructors. Literally hundreds of years of experience were on display today or over the weekend. And it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I want to also make a mention about Bear Lake. I'd never been on the lake. The lake's a little low right now, so it's like way out there, from looking from the shore. But we decided to rent boats on Sunday. We rented 2 pontoon boats and got out there. Oh my God, how beautiful that water is! How clear and clean the water is, and just the blue.
It's the Caribbean of the mountains, as they call it, or Caribbean of the West. I've heard it called as well, but. Yeah.
So we enjoyed swimming and enjoying renting the boats and there's something really special about getting together. And I know a lot of people like to be in online events, but I'll just from my heart get out and get to the events. Like, I'm so excited. We have a real estate workshop. We got Chris Albin in Chicago this weekend. We're gonna have 3 property tours Friday, Chris Albin Saturday. Next month for our workshop, we have Brian Sump, Jason Anders in July, Brian Sump in August. We've got Mark Kohler in September. These are going to be hosted live at our office in Chicago, and then we have regional season coming up, and we have a Denver regional. We have a Chicago regional. I know there's a bunch of cities that are doing regionals this year. But these are, these are where friendships are created. This is where, where breakthroughs happen.
Yeah.
Spending time with people that have done what you want to do makes such a difference, because you start to realize if they can do it, so can you. And the more time I spend with the members of this community and the successful people in this community, the more I realize how awesome this program has truly become. And a lot of that is because of you two, Jay and Matt. I mean, you guys have poured your heart into this business, into this company, into Renatus for years and years and years. And we wouldn't be who we are without both of your hearts. And so I love you guys, and so grateful to have the opportunity to be here and share today.
Oh, wow. We love you too, Bob. And ditto. Renatus would not be Renatus without Mr. Bob Tierney.
That's what I was just thinking. It's like, man, it would not be the same without you, Bob. It just would.
Yeah.
It would lose a lot of the love too. Man. I just love seeing you, man. You're full of love, and I really enjoy that. I love that.
Yeah, Mr. Tierney.
We're going to Kenya.
I can't wait.
Rub it in. Thank you. Yes, Jay's not going to Kenya.
Jay's gonna cry.
I'll sit back and cry. You guys go and have a good
time.
Do
it in a closet like a real man. I'm just kidding. I kid. Real men cry.
Real men cry.
That's right.
All right. Well, Mr. Tierney, thanks so much for being on the Jam with us this week. We will be back again next Wednesday with another featured guest, and just be ready. Buckle up. Have a good time. I wish you guys could see the amount of momentum that's being created inside of Renatus right now, how we're on the precipice of just huge things to come. And huge shout out to Mr. Tierney as well as to Mr. Bob Snyder for all of the wonderful, just the love that goes into what we create and who we become. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next Wednesday. Don't forget, Renatus rocks because of the people who are associated with it. Renatus rocks.